Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Daria if you're new to my channel, and today's practice is called Into the Mystic. The monthly theme here on my channel is magic, and so in this class we'll continue exploring the sort of mysticism of the practice, the transformational aspects as well as the awe-inspiring magic of each moment and the enigmatic quality sometimes to not always having the answer right away, but to really embracing the unknown and each moment exactly as it is. So for this class, you just need yourself and a space to move, and whenever you're ready, let's get into it. We'll start today in Sphinx pose. So come down to lying on your belly. Bring your forearms to the mat and let your elbows fall about 1 inch forward of your shoulders. Toes can be untucked, so the toenail side of your foot is pressing into the mat. And then try to feel that the base of your rib cage is settling toward the earth. Let this be a little bit of a passive sphinx, while still feeling opening through your collarbones and the shoulder blades squeezing together at the back of your heart. Close your eyes, and you can stay with your head where it is, or if you'd prefer, allow your chin to tuck toward your chest, feeling some opening into the back of your throat. Just begin by settling into your breath. Feel with every inhale as your low belly swells with air. Try to keep the space of the low belly soft and relaxed, noticing if any tension migrates to that space, and just try to sweetly soften it, unfolding layer by layer. Now really feel the breath spreading and moving into your chest. And with every exhale, see if you can soften a little more into the surface beneath you. Feel the palms of your hands spread wide. Let your fingers be open and receptive and sensitive. And take a moment now just to genuinely and thoroughly check in with all of the aspects of yourself as you arrive to your practice. Do a check-in with the physical body, a check-in with your mental space, as well as with your more soulful or spiritual layer. And try to let go of any idea of how this should be or what you should be thinking or feeling, and just notice what comes through as it arises. If any judgments arise around your experience, try to drop those too. Take 2 more breaths here, inhaling fully through your nose. And if you need to clear any tension, you can sigh out of your mouth. One more time, full inhale. Exhale to let it go. Blink your eyes open. Lift your head if you bowed it forward, and then begin to drag your elbows isometrically back towards your pelvis. So we're activating more into the Sphinx. Press your toenails down and energize the tops of your thighs. Charge your glutes, and then feel a little bit of engagement lighting up between your inner thighs, hugging the midline. Take an inhale. As you exhale, release your heart and your chin all the way down to the mat. Keep your right palm where it is and drag your left hand back so that it's beside your ribs. On your next inhalation, press into both palms and start to peel your front body away from the mat. Then as you exhale, roll to your outer right hip and allow the legs to follow. So the feet can stagger or maybe stack the left foot on top of the right one. Pull your left fingertips in front of your body and then let your weight settle into the right shoulder. So rather than pressing away from the earth, you're allowing your ribs and the right side body to expand. Eyes can turn back over the left shoulder. Try to relax your legs, your feet, and your toes. Just breathe. Soft bend into your right elbow. One more breath. You can cultivate Ujjayi pranayama now if you haven't yet, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Start to press out of the right palm slightly. Pick up your left foot and walk it forward of the right thigh. Root the foot flat. Try to keep your knee and your left toes pointing in the same direction. Right palm can come slightly in, closer towards your body, and then press deeply into the knife edge of your back foot. On your next inhalation, press through what's connected to the earth and see if you can float your hips away from the mat. Come to the ball of your left foot so your heel is lifting. Cinch in through the right side body and open up the left side. Take another breath here. Stretch your left arm forward over your ear. Big rainbow arc. And then as you exhale, gently, softly, lower everything back down toward the earth. You can stretch the left leg long and back behind you, and then roll onto your belly again. Take the left palm forward, right palm beside your ribs. On your next inhalation, start to lift your heart away from the earth. And then as you exhale, come to the outer left hip. Right foot staggers or maybe stacks. Draw the right fingertips in front of your torso and then settle into the side body stretch, opening now into the left ribs. You can hug in through the right waist. And check that the left elbow is micro bent or maybe more deeply bent. Just explore all the sensations that you can feel here and notice what happens when you play a little bit into the space, when you allow for micro adjustments. There's so many different kinds of sensations that we can find through playing. Pick up your right foot and step it forward of your left thigh. Root the foot flat to the earth. Draw your left palm in slightly closer to your body. And then as you're ready, press into knife edge of left foot and start to lift your hips up and away from the earth. Float the right heel and then gaze to the right thumbnail. On your next inhalation, stretch the right arm all the way forward over your head. Take one more sweet round of breath. And on the exhale, you can start to let your hips fall back toward the earth with control, and then glide your right toes back behind you and roll onto your belly once again. And now let's heat up the back body. So toenails root. Take an inhalation, press your pelvis into the earth. Firm the tops of your thighs. Then allow for the breath to draw in through the lines of your waist and float your heart and your hands away from the earth. Pull the shoulder blades together. Elbows are magnetized. And now try to feel like your heart is a balloon that's buoyantly rising with every breath in. And with every breath out, just feel the heat that's building in your back body. Imagine somebody's hands are pressing down onto the tops of your feet so that they stay heavy. Take one more breath in, lift your heart. Breathing out, softly lower down. Turn your right cheek to the mat and then let your palms or the tops of your hands come down beside you. Just take a little rest here, belly down, Shavasana. Good. Draw your chin forward to the top of the mat once again. And this time, interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. If you can bring the heels of the hands to touch, do so. And then as you breathe in, stretch back through your knuckles, peel your heart and your chin away from the earth, and then reach the heart forward. You can keep a little micro bend in your elbows, plug your toenails down, and then see if you can coil your heart more forward. Just breathing through everything you can feel. Take one more inhalation. Activate biceps and triceps. Reach your heart forward. As you exhale, release and lower everything down. Turn your left cheek to the mat. Release the tops of your hands down beside you and just drop here. Turn your chin forward once again. And this time, bring the palms of your hands to face down toward the earth. Walk your fingertips back a little bit. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then as you inhale, float your heart and your hands away from the earth. You can stay here. If you're feeling good, begin to float the tops of the feet and the tops of the thighs up as well. Imagine you're hugging a block between your inner thighs, and notice how this activation lifts your pelvic floor. Spread the breath through your heart. Broaden your collarbones. Breathe in here. Good. Breathe out. Lower down. Tuck your toes. Plant your palms beside your ribs and make your way up onto your hands and your knees into a tabletop. Good. You can untuck the toes and then just begin to circle through the hips. You can make a figure 8 shape, or it can just be a regular circle, or really whatever you want to do. Let yourself tap a little bit into some unknowns. Nothing is prescriptive. Nothing has to be any particular way. You're going from intuition rather than from following like a rule book. And then let yourself softly begin to migrate into some cat-cows. Inhaling as you arch your back, lift the tailbone, stretch your heart forward, and let your eyes rise to the sky. And then as you exhale, press into the earth, round your spine, hollowing the core, dropping the head so that the back of the neck can open. Couple rounds here with your own breath. Feel the intricate interactions between the breath and the body, and trust that these interactions know how to occur without the interference of your thoughts or your mind. Neutralize your spine. Walk your knees a little bit more toward one another. On your next inhalation, press into left palm and right shin. Kick left leg back and right arm forward. Breathing in here to lengthen out. As you exhale, start to circle your right arm toward the back of the mat. Kick your left heel in towards your sit bone and see if you can find a connection between your hand and your foot. Flex your toes into your right palm. Now, plug your right toenails down to the earth to stabilize and begin to kick straight back through your left shin. As you do this, continue to find connection between your inner thighs and then stretch your heart forward. Imagine that your left hand and your right knee are being pulled toward one another. Try to lift your eyes as much as you lift your toes. Energize left glute for one more big inhalation. And then as you exhale, gently float right hand and left knee back to the earth. Inhale, stretch left fingertips forward, right toes back. As you exhale, kick heel towards sit bone, circle your arm around and back and grab for your foot. Draw the inner thighs toward one another and then begin to kick back. Take a few breaths here. Open your full front body. Lift your pelvic floor. One more inhalation. And use the exhale to find your way back to tabletop. Palms to the earth, tuck your toes, float your knees, and then glide into downward facing dog. For a few moments here, explore the shape. Notice how your body is feeling today in this first downward facing dog of your practice. Allow the breath to spread through any sticky spots, ironing away any tension, any discomfort, any tightness or unnecessary holding. And take what you need, maybe bending your knees a little more to lengthen the spine, maybe walking the feet wider. And if your heels are floating away from the earth, that's okay. Just try to feel the pull of gravity on the heels and the Achilles tendons. So they're working their way toward the earth. Take an inhalation. Start to find steadiness. And on your exhalation, press your hands and your feet down and away from each other, clawing into fingertips and toe pads. Breathe in, lift your heels high, pull up the fronts of your thighs, and start to round forward into a high plank. As you breathe out, micro bend knees and elbows and wave back into downward facing dog, arching your spine as you go. So it's like the tailbone is leading. Inhale, come forward one more time into high plank. As you exhale, wave yourself back into downward facing dog. Feel the articulation through your spine. One more time like this. Breathe in, shift forward, high plank, shoulders over the wrist, lengthen out through the crown of your head, back through your heels. And then exhale, like your sacrum is on a string that's being dragged up and back. Press to downward facing dog. Breathe in, lift your heels, round forward, high plank. As you exhale, bend your elbows and lower chaturanga. Untuck your toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. Arc your heart forward, pull the shoulder blades together. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hug belly button to spine and let your hips find the sky. Press your left toes down, and as you breathe in, reach your right leg high to three-legged down dog. As you breathe out, lift your left heel, hollow your core, gaze forward, and step right foot through to right thumb. Drop your back knee. Breathe in, fingertips rise, Anjaneyasana, kneeling warrior. Breathe out, step forward, fold forward. Bring the left foot parallel to the right at the top of the mat, hips distance away. Take an inhale, stretch through your spine, back through tailbone, forward through crown of head, halfway lift. Exhale just to fold down. Pick up your right foot and step the right toes all the way to the back of the mat. Bend the left knee deeply and drop your back knee. Breathe in, pull your inner thighs together, rise, kneeling warrior. As you exhale, palms to the earth, pick up your right knee, shift your hips back in space, and then step or glide through to downward facing dog. Inhale, heels rise, come forward, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Elbows hug tight to your rib cage, coming halfway down. Untuck your toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Root the right toes, breathe in and stretch your left leg up and back. Three-legged down dog, the hips stay square. As you exhale, step forward, left foot through to left thumb. Soft landing of your back knee. Inhale, reach your fingertips high, kneeling warrior. Exhale, step into the left foot and draw the right foot beside it, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out of your spine. Exhale, just fold. Breathe in, press into the right foot and step your left toes to the back of the mat. Land your knee down as you exhale. Inhale, kneeling warrior. Exhale, palms to the earth. Pick your hips up, shift them back in space. Press straight down, rounding your spine, and glide your right foot through and back to downward facing dog. On your next inhalation, lift your heels and round forward to high plank, a little bit different this time. Start to pick up your left foot and float your knee all the way through to the left tricep, holding and squeezing. Contract your core, press the earth down and away from you. Now, reach forward through the crown of your head. Inhale. As you exhale, pivot on your back foot so that your heel can pivot down toward the mat. Toes are turning to the left. Bend your knee deeply. Keep the left foot hovering, and then see if you can float your left fingertips all the way up to the sky. So left knee and left arm are high. Plug your right big toe down into the earth. Contract right side body. Breathe in here. As you breathe out, you can take your hands to the back of the left thigh and begin to carry your foot forward to the top of the mat, going slow for 3. Press the ground away from you for 2. Pick up your back heel for 1. Gaze where you want your foot to go and then step it right there. Feet like train tracks, hips distance apart. Take a breath in and rise up into a high crescent lunge. As you breathe out, settle down into your feet. Feel the foundation. Feel the big toes. And then draw energy through the lines of your legs, up through your torso, lengthening past the tips of fingers. Breathe in. As you breathe out, begin to lean forward with your torso. Bring your hands to interlace behind you. Hug the heels of your hands together. Then come to the very tip of your right toe. Press straight down into the left foot and glide into a warrior 3 with the arms, the hands interlaced behind you. Spin your right toenails to point down. Plug left big toe and pinky toe evenly into the earth. Then cinch in through your waist and allow your heart to stretch more forward. Big inhale. As you breathe out, begin to tip your heart down and forward. Let it be like an anchor that's being pulled toward the earth. And to counter this balance, your right leg is going higher and higher, like you're coming forward into a standing splits. Keep the balance steady. And then when you need to, bring your fingertips down to the mat and we'll find standing splits just for a couple of breaths. Let your head get heavy and try to focus not so much on how high the right leg is lifting, but more so on spinning the top of right thigh to point straight down and then activating the glute and the hamstring. Drive your nose toward your left shin. Breathe in. Breathe out, bend your left knee, land your right toes to the back of your mat, but as you do so, pivot them to warrior 1 alignment. So toes are out to about 45-ish degrees. Let your back heel come down. Breathe in and press through your feet. Rise up to stand in warrior 1. Hug your outer left hip in and spin your right hip slightly forward. Bend deeply into your front leg. Now, really activate your core. So it's kind of like your hip bones and your ribs are pulling toward one another to take the arch out of your low back. And we'll stay for 3 more rounds of breath. If you'd like to close your eyes and really explore your inner landscape, feel free. One more breath in. Breathe out, fingertips come down again to the base of your spine, interlacing. Inhale to press your heart forward. And as you exhale, come forward into a humble warrior. Keep drawing outer left hip in and back. And then it's like you're reaching your nose towards your inner ankle. Take a few breaths. Beautiful. Release the grip of your hands. Plant your palms to frame the left foot. Pick up your right heel and then press down. Float your left leg through and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels and come forward into high plank. Elongate, and then as you exhale, pick up your right foot and hug your knee into your tricep. Press the ground away from you. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, pivot your left heel down, plug your big toe down, bend your back knee deeply, and then lift right arm and right knee high to the sky. Press away through left hand and left foot. They're pressing down and away from one another. And then take a big inhalation to really drive the outer left hip away from the earth. As you exhale, take right hand to the back of your thigh. Flex your foot, gaze down, and softly step forward for 3. For 2, with control. For 1, how softly and deliberately can you bring the right foot to the earth? Good. Breathe in. Draw the inner thighs toward one another and rise your fingertips up. High crescent lunge. Breathe out, feel your feet. Inhale. Create effervescence through your torso. It's like there's these literal bubbles or like carbonation kind of rising to the surface and then stretching through the fingertips. On your next exhale, start to lean your heart forward. Bring your fingertips to interlace behind you. And then stretch out as much as you can through your spine. Press down into your right foot and begin to gradually float the left leg up and back behind you. Maybe it's a graceful transition, maybe not so much, whatever. Let your balance calibrate. Feel the fluidity of the constant fluctuations. Breathing in here. Breathe out, begin to bow your heart down. Try to keep your arms lifted away from the earth as long as possible as you come down into your standing splits. When you need, you can release the fingertips down. Take a couple more breaths here, finding your expression of the posture. Keep energizing out through your top toes while pressing down through your bottom toes. Breathe in, breathe out. Bend your right knee, step the left foot to the back of the mat, aligning for warrior one as you transition. Inhale, pull back on your outer right hip and reach your fingertips up to the sky. Press your right foot down and forward. Try to keep the left heel anchoring. And then allow your breath to animate through all of the lines of the posture. Feeling that even as we hold for a few breaths in this shape, there's still the flow of the breath. Breathe in. Breathe out, fingertips come to interlace behind you. The inhale, stretch breath through your heart, inflating it forward. And then on the exhale, come down into humble warrior. Take a few breaths here. You can allow your head to relax. Keep energizing into your feet. And feel opening into your chest as the shoulder blades hug. Release the grip of your hands. Place the palms down to the earth, framing the right foot. Pick up your left heel. Take a breath in as you prepare. And then a breath out to press down and glide back into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. If you need a sigh or an open mouth exhale to release some heat, feel free to take one. We'll go again, adding on. Inhale, lift your heels and wash forward into plank. As you exhale, hug left knee to left tricep. Breathe in to lengthen. Breathe out, pivot your right heel down, plug your big toe down. And then on the inhale, stretch left knee and left arm high to the sky. And this time, as you exhale, begin to turn your heart more toward the sky. Draw the right shoulder blade underneath you to support, and see how softly you can step the left toes down and back behind you, coming into wild thing. Beautiful. Once the left toes land, you can rebend into both knees a little bit. And then on your inhale, inflate your whole front body up to the sky. Stretch the left arm forward. Let this feel really good. Open and free and wild. And begin to pivot your right toes to point toward the side again, the left side of your mat. Stack the left side body over the right one as you pluck your toes away from the earth, coming back to left knee and left arm high. Inhale. Exhale, you can carry the foot forward again, or if you like, just try to float it forward without using the hand for 3, for 2, for 1. Step down, breathe in, rise to stand, high crescent lunge. Breathe out right away in one fluid exhale. Fingertips interlace at the base of your spine. Press forward into the left foot, float your back toes, and come into this warrior 3 variation. Breathe in, elongate forward through your heart and back through your right toes. As you breathe out, bow down into standing splits. This time, bring both sets of fingertips down to the earth first. Draw your knee all the way down toward your shin. Let the back of your head soften. And then inhale into like a standing L. Halfway lift in the spine, right toes go back. As you exhale, right fingertips stay down to the mat. They're forward and slightly wider of your left foot. Then as you exhale, kick your right heel in toward your sit bone. Find a connection between hand and foot, left hand and right foot. Flex your toes and then activate your inner thighs. Begin to reach your right shin back and curl your heart a little bit forward to the top of the mat. One more inhale. As you exhale, without slingshotting, release your back foot and step it to a warrior one alignment. So right toes go back, turning them out. Anchor into your foundation and then breathe in to rise to stand. As you breathe out, humble warrior. Fingertips to the base of your spine, reach the heart forward, and then come down. 2 breaths here. Bring your palms back to the earth. Take an inhale, preparing. And on the exhale, step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels, come forward, high plank. Exhale, hug right knee, right tricep. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, spin your back heel down, plug your big toe down. Stretch right arm high and right knee high. Press the ground away from you and then begin to pivot your heart more to face the sky. Feel as the left shoulder blade draws beneath your back body to support you. And see how softly you can step the right toes down and back behind. Once your toes land, rebend into both knees. And on your inhale, stretch open into wild thing. Feel your breath. One more inhale. And then exhale, pivot to face toward the left side of the mat once again. Right arm high and right knee high. Inhale. Exhale, step it forward for 3, for 2, and 1. Good. Softly land your foot down. Inhale, high crescent lunge, hug your inner thighs. Exhale, fingertips interlace behind you. Reach your heart forward, torso forward, and then press down to come up into warrior 3 variation. Inhaling. Exhale, come forward and down, standing splits. All 5 left toenails point straight to the earth. Good. And then when you're ready, fingertips come down, bow all the way into standing splits, drawing your nose to your shin, crown of head toward your toes. Walk your fingertips a little more forward. Inhale into standing L. Exhale, left fingertips stay down. Heel kicks in towards sit bone. Right arm swings around and back. Try to grab for the top of your foot. Then press foot to hand and allow this kicking back action to have a ripple effect through your heart, reaching forward. Breathe in. Breathe out, release the grip of the foot. Fingertips down and softly carry the left leg to the back of the mat into warrior 1 feet. As you breathe in, rise your torso high to stand. And as you breathe out, come forward into humble warrior. Try to create length first and then bow down. 2 breaths. Release the grip of your fingers. Bring the palms down to the earth. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. Pick up your back heel. As you breathe out, press down and float the right leg back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels, come forward, high plank. Exhale, bend both elbows and come to chaturanga. Untuck your toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your heels and bring your knees to the mat. You can find a seat back on your heels, spinning your palms to face up toward the sky, or if you'd rather, you can come into a child's pose. Up to you, and try to just feel what your body is craving. Wherever you are, let everything settle. Breathe into the heat and the activation that you've created, and all of the tingly after effects of your movement. And wherever you are, blink your eyes open. And then make your way all the way forward to lying on your belly once again. Stretch your fingertips back behind you and kick your heels in toward your sit bones. See if you can grab onto your ankles from the outside and flex your feet. On your next inhalation, press your shins back, stretch your heart forward, shoulder blades hug, and then as you exhale, start to activate into your glutes and your hamstrings to see if you can float the tops of the thighs away from the earth. Floor bow. Feel an even and opposite action of shins pressing back and heart pressing forward. Hug the inner thighs together. Take one more breath in, lift your toes, lift your gaze, and then breathe out to come down. Bring your hands or your fists to stack at the top of the mat and allow your third eye to rest to that space. Try to really give the weight of your head to your hands so you can soften. Soften the shoulders, down the arms, the forearms, hands and fingers. And then lift your head, bring the left hand beneath your shoulder. Take the right arm wide to the side and roll to the outer right hip. Let the left toes step off the mat behind you. And find a shoulder opening and chest opening stretch here. You can readjust your hips more toward the left side of the mat to deepen the sensation that you're feeling. And then if you'd like, you can press the sole of the right foot flat to the earth as well. And maybe take a big circle with the left arm around and back and see if you can bring your fingertips to interlace once again. Let the breath comb away or comb through any knots. Feel yourself heavy into gravity. You can release the grip of your hands if you have it. Stretch the right leg back to straight and then the left one rolling onto your belly again. Bring the right palm beneath your shoulder, left arm wide, and then switch to the other side. So outer left hip rolls down, right toes step off the mat behind you. Check that your head is heavy, so you can bring the side of your face or even the back of your head down to the mat. Maybe begin to pivot your heart more toward the sky, and possibly left foot comes down beside the right one about hips distance away. If you took it on the other side, you can carry the right arm around and back and maybe bring your fingertips to interlace. And let's take 3 more breaths here. Really full, deep inhales. And let the exhales wash away anything tight. And release the grip if you took it, and start to travel back onto your belly, rolling everything down. Now make your way onto your back however you'd like to get there. You can come up to a seat or you can just thread an arm through and roll. Relax the back of your heart and the back of your head down. And then float your legs up to the sky. Grab for what's available, shins, ankles, maybe outer feet. And then pull your knees down and around to your outer ribs, happy baby. Feel that your sacrum is magnetized to the earth. And then play here. You can rock from side to side. You can extend one leg long and then the other. And when you're ready, find your way into a nice hug. Knees come into your chest. Curl in, wrap your forearms around your shins. Take a breath
in hollowing your core and really find a moment of like a genuine hug of your body. And then take an exhale into Shavasana. Toes fall open. Palms flip up. Relax your head. Close your eyes. Now imagine that your body is like droplets of water being absorbed into deep soil beneath you. And this process is one that happens naturally. So you don't have to do any work or any forcing to make this happen. All you have to do is surrender and observe. Let your bones be heavy and fall into rest. Stay longer or begin to deepen your breath and wiggle fingers and toes. Try to feel your full body as one. Inhale and take a long body stretch. Exhale to fetal pose, roll to a side and drop. Press down to come up. We'll find Sukhasana. Keep your eyes closed through this transition. And then bring your palms to face toward the sky, backs of hands to thighs. Feel your seat, feel your spine growing, and feel your heart space open. And now take a moment to acknowledge anything that was clarified, uncovered, demystified, or opened through this practice. And know that you always have this ability to tap into the unknown. To go into the mystery of your experience and just let it be a mystery without needing to solve or fix. And this can be very powerful, very profound practice. Draw your palms to meet at heart center. Inhale, lift your heart to your thumbs. Exhale, bow your chin towards your chest. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your movement practice with me today. I hope that you're doing really well, and please let me know how you're feeling down below if you have time in the comments. You can also subscribe to my channel or join as a monthly donation member, and both of those really help to support me. Have a great rest of your day or your night, and I'll see you soon. Bye.